Yes, it's another video here from the Tokyo real estate man. Today's video, we're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit, just a small little bit of real estate. But if you didn't know, I'm an old football player. I used to be a really good player actually. I played in college long time ago, and I've been just a fan of the NFL all my life. And actually, I didn't for many years from the mid '90s to about the. This is the game from 2 years ago, of course, and the rematch I guess is going to be on Sunday. And for about 10 years, I didn't really have any contact too much with the West between '95 and about 2006 before broadband. And but even in those years, I did get to through the newspaper. I would follow the NFL, and when it came down to some playoff games, I would sometimes go to the sports bar, and I thought that we could talk about it. And I wanted to connect a little bit with some real estate stuff, and we'll go into my old neighborhood in Shibuya. And I thought I also could talk about some of the things that are really nice about in some ways, I think that 10 years that I was away from all kinds of American news and stuff, it was a good thing because I was able to concentrate on like learning the new culture and learning a new language and stuff like that. But uh, at the same time, like I felt like there was a real, always really good sort of expat community in Tokyo and stuff like that. And one of the great events in Tokyo that I really miss was watching the Super Bowl. And I thought we could talk a little bit about that too. And where there are going to be a lot of great Super Bowl parties in Tokyo, and really the a lot of for the most part, it's a lot of the North American people congregate in the sports bars, and the party generally starts on Monday morning, and you would come to the sports bar at Monday morning, and we would watch the game from. The game usually starts around, I think, about 8 a.m. and it usually ends up about 1 p.m. and it's a lot of fun. And I thought I could introduce, for example, if you were in Shibuya, one of the spots that you might go to watch the game is a bar like this known as it's called the Hobgoblin, and you can see it already has like reviews on TripAdvisor, and what have you. And so this kind of bar, which isn't too big, but it would be, it's really interesting because a lot of these bars you can see that the expats are here, and it can be a good and bad thing. There's a lot of drinking goes on in Japanese society, right? So yeah, these bars, a lot of people go to them. I haven't really, for myself. I basically quit drinking in my sort of mid 30s. I think I quit when I was 36 years old. So basically about 20 years now, I haven't really drank. But yeah, I would always order some drinks when I even when I didn't drink, and I would keep them on the table or give them to someone and enjoy the sports bars. And there's sports bars all over Tokyo, and it's I'm gonna really miss it because I'm really used to going to the sports bar as well in places like Shibuya, Tokyo, to watch the game. And yeah, you can go to various places you can go. And this is the sports bar in Shibuya that I used to go to. It's really near my house, and it's known as the Hobgoblin. And it's really weird coming from, although you see it a little bit in North American setting, uh, these kind of buildings that are in the Shibuya, like around Shibuya, or any of the places, if you're in Nagoya, Sakai, or if you're going to be in, for example, in Osaka, in Namba, a lot of the entertainment happens in these about 10-story uh, what's known as Shueki Bill. It's called the Shueki Bill, and they're just like business buildings, and they would have like first floor retail up to top floor retail, and then when we click onto this one here, you can see the Hobgoblin there by. I just know it by its sign. Is here, I think, on the sixth or seventh or eighth floor of this building. So a lot of people would just congregate there. And at first, it was a bit of a shock to me. You can see it clear here. I don't have the best picture for you here. I'm sorry. This is being, I get confused with how you make the pictures bigger on this site. I thought they would become bigger, but you can see here in these are known as like the Shueiki Bill, and they you can go here from the first floor to the 10th floor, and it would be this is something that I found in I in the 1990s, at first in Japan. I had a little bit of culture shock with it because I was used to a bar being something that's like on the street level. But for example, the Hobgoblin, it just slowly over time, in the need, slowly over time, it just came like a normal sort of thing. So these are known as shueiki buildings, and they're for sale all the time in Japan on the real estate market. But I came here, and I will share the tab because this is a real. I'm connecting it to the football game here. But like for example, in Shibuya here, where the Hobgoblin is, my apartment that I lived for a long time with, I still own it, is in this area, and this is Shibuya Station right here. So I think where I live is about 7 or 8 minutes away from Shibuya Station, and this is the residential side of Shibuya Station, and this is kind of the party area. And you can see I'm doing the listing for what's known as the Shueiki buildings, and there's nothing of these buildings here are for sale right now. And I wonder if that is because it's just become too expensive to be listed on a site like at home here. They might still be for sale, but just inside other sort of real estate networks and stuff like that. So, but there's nothing for sale in here. And you do see, we talk about red pill, all this stuff that's for sale here in this vicinity is all going to be in the millions of dollars. This listing right here is three. This is Sanoku, uh, okay, or Sanoku, and like this one here, then Oku again is going to be, or I guess 30 million. That would be 300 million, I guess. This is 7.5 million. I This one here is again 3.5 million. And I thought we could look briefly what's for sale. At the same time, we could there. This is the first listing that I wanted to kick up was this one that's near Shibuya Station right there, and you can see it looks to be an apartment with six sort of units in it, and it's for San Oku Yonsen Hapyakuman, and it's looks to be a concrete sort of rental building, and this is what you're going to see that's for sale. It's in a really great location. It looks to be in the location of Shoto, and it's just full of like smaller apartments that are for rent. I looked at the rental yield for this, and the yield looked to be about 2%. So nothing too high, but certainly I think the investors that want to get this, they're interested in buying like something that is bringing you money, but they're interested in a secure real estate investment with great quality land, and that's kind of what this one is. There's nothing that's really for sale at those sort of shueiki buildings. Sometimes you do see them around. This is near to. I'll make the click this. Oh, the picture didn't get any bigger, but this is Yoyogi Uehara. So this is the Odaku line. But again, that's not too far away from Shibuya. So, but yeah, this is the Uehara station. As you know, Tokyo heads. This is the Odaku line station, Yoyogi Uehara. Uh, this could be mentioning it that there's a elementary school by there and everything like that. I don't know. We could look into some other details here in the listing. The pictures aren't telling the greatest story of it, and it is a house again here. I'm trying to go to the information of the listing. I guess it's just above here right now, and it's an owner change, and it's basically a rental building. And you can see here the yield is 2.16%, and right now, it's bringing in about 60,000 US dollars a year, so $5,000 dollars a month. So the yield is really all not all that great, but I guess what you're getting is this, which is 176 meters of of Shibuya land, basically, and 192 meters of internal building space. So that's basically the listing. So I guess we could come back here to the football game here, and which I still have broadcasting right here, and I will get I will now talk a little bit about my. I'm a huge football fan. I'm a fan of like both teams, and I think these teams are. I think actually this year these are the best two teams. I was kind of pulling for Buffalo, and I was kind of pulling for Baltimore as well because I thought they had great teams. But I think that these two teams are really the best teams. Oh wow, wow, that's a really risky pass that Hurts really made right there. Wow, that's a really risky pass. But luckily his player was there to stop it. Yeah, he threw into totally double coverage. I think my prediction, you're going to hear it right now. I'm going to say that I'm kind of pulling for the Eagles, but I'm not really an Eagles fan. But I think they have a really strong team. They have a really strong offensive line. However, I think that this Chiefs team is a really good team. They just know how to win. And they got a really interesting offense, and it's a really simple offense, but they disguise a lot of what they're doing through motion and stuff like that. Having said that, the Eagles have a great running back in Saquon Barkley. So I think that I'm pulling a little bit for the Eagles, but I think it's a really uh, 50-50 game. I don't know who's going to win it. I don't know what the point spread is either on it. Uh, there's another sample here. I got to go back to real estate. Here. The other sample that I thought that we could look in the marketplace, if you come down here, this is near the sort of residential area that I lived in. I still own my unit right. It's right about there, and I'm familiar with this one that's for sale here. This one right here, and it's for sale for basically San Oku or $3 million. And this is not 3 million US dollars. Okay, this is $3 million in the Japanese sense of the currency. Okay, so I think that would be 300 million yen. And this is the house right now. It's basically a house. Okay, and this is what it is. We'll go through the pictures. I'll try to expand it to see if it's any bigger. It's not that much bigger, but we'll go through it. And it's a house in a great. It's a residential detached house in a maybe one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Japan. And there it is here. This building to the right of it is known as La Tour, which is a really high-end rental building that's owned by Sumitomo. It's worth commenting when it comes out. I saw it in one of the pictures. This is La Tour right here, and its land is owned by Sumitomo. And I really watch this company, Sumitomo, a lot. This is the Cerulean Hotel owned by Tokyo. And if you can see what happens, and they really influenced me a lot, and that's why, like, I own actually quite a few apartments in this neighborhood, and I just picked them up slowly over the years. And I guess you could say it was my Super Bowl. These are my Super Bowl rings. In a way, they really are because Sumitomo, generally speaking, they don't sell any of their real estate, and neither does Tokyo. They would probably own this land for over 100 years, I would imagine. And whatever is on it before, they would have destroyed it, and then it would have had their construction wing come in and build what's ever new. And let's say 40 years from now, when this building gets dated, I would think that Sumitomo at that point in time will destroy it and continue to hold the land and build something new there. The Tokyo company, they own the Toyoko line between Shibuya and Yokohama, and they're a very old samurai clan and even yakuza company, and they just don't sell their land. So I often watch what they do, and I always thought, don't sell your land uh, when it's in a great area because other things will come to you. And for example, I knew this when I bought my Akasaka apartment many years ago, and that's the Latour building right there, owned by Sumitomo. And sure enough, it's being redeveloped by Nomura. So in some ways, that's why. In some ways, I think that there's a lack of supply. It's just a standard house, but we can use it to learn about other things. It's part of the reason when I look into the map, when we bring it in close here to Shibuya Station, and we see that it has nothing for sale, at least on this site, there's nothing for sale. I don't know. I could be wrong. There could be uh, something for sale here in some other networks. Certainly, all this land that's owned here by near the station is controlled by the conglomerate. They control it. Okay, uh, and in that way, that's why there's no supply here. They don't need to sell it. These people that own this real estate in these buildings that are close to Shibuya Station or all the major centers in Japan, they have access to the financial system, or they're very close to it. They're very close to it. Okay, and they have access also to construction companies. Okay, the I better come back to the other listing right here. Okay, I'll come to this one right. I think it was right here. Was it here or was it the next one over? I think it was right here. I'll move back, and in this picture, I'll explain something to you. Okay, this picture really explains it. Okay, Sumitomo, they are a banking trust. Okay, they're very close to the Japanese central bank. Not only that, they have a construction wing. So, and they already possess this land. It's already owned, and they can just they have a whole wing of labor who can come in and build these quality buildings. And the very same is the case here with Tokyo. So one of the reasons I'm always pushing that you should get near these red pills is because I know how these people, or not these people, these trusts, these conglomerate, I see how they act, and they just have all the power in the society. So then, uh, when I try to play, it's odd that I'm bringing in this matrix thing uh, with it all, but I'm just trying to watch how these like strongest powers, like even here, you see on the screen, it says Tokyo, right? Tokyo Revival. That's this company, the real estate agency with this listing right here. They own this building. They also own this real estate company, and they have connections to all the financial institutions. Everything's so anytime you can get something that's close to there, you know that you're holding valuable land that these people covet. So anyway, it's a it's kind of a and then we'll finish the pictures off. That was an interesting part of the video. It's good for me to talk about that. Okay. And it's standard house. You're buying the land, $3 million. It's a lot of money, but yeah, someone's going to get it. Someone's going to get it. Someone who has access to that sort of financing. There's nothing special to be looked at here. Okay, but the people that will buy this place, they will have access to the cheap financing. Anyway, uh, while you're back to the subject of the Super Bowl, uh, these kind of after the broadband revolution is that you could just uh, go to these sort of events, and if you like to enjoy the football game, certainly that was all there before. We used to be able to watch all these kind of football games and everything like that on the sort of, I guess, through the satellite networks at that time. There was something at that time called Sky Perfect TV, and there was like an NFL channel. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about as well. That actually, if you didn't know, if any football fans are watching this, uh, you see there's the Rice Bowl right there. Uh, it's a so there's actually like a lot of, and you can see this stadium. It might even be have been full. There is actually a decent, especially in the universities, there's a semi-pro Japanese football league, but there's a really great and strong Japanese like football in the universities and stuff like that. And sometimes I see the players, and from time to time, I do talk to them, and I tell them I was a former player, and of course, because I'm old now, they would laugh at me and stuff like that. But I used to play at a pretty high level university, and then when I tell them where I used to play football for, sometimes they start to be nice to me. They start to be nice to me again. But this was a great picture here, and it's a really great. There is a like a great. Don't get me wrong. In Japan, the football and stuff like that is nothing but like a just a sort of a minor sport. But it is a fun little event, and it's something that I really enjoy. Actually, their playoff games were about 2 weeks ago, and I turned it off like after the final game sort of ended and stuff like that. I turned it off I didn't really have any of this on my mind. Uh, it's interesting. A lot of people think the NFL can have a fix in and stuff like that. Certainly, there's a real element to it right now that is really held by the conglomerate as well, because the advertisements that come on. Most of a lot of people don't watch TV anymore like this. So, like when this sort of events come on where people are watching a lot of TV, that they certainly like to influence the events with different kinds of agenda. Like, for example, Travis Kelsey, his girlfriend is apparently Taylor Swift. I'm pretty sure that that's not the case, and that's just an element of show business and perhaps fake news and stuff like that. But I'm fool enough to still watch the bread and circuses, and I was a player, and I will enjoy watching the game on Sunday. Oh, there's Hurts. That was a nice play. Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles have a just great offensive line play. But yeah, I think they could win though. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun to see. Hurts a great player. Uh, it's going to be good. And then if you're also in Tokyo, person in Tokyo, and you end up watching this silly video that I have talking about, it's called Super L. I don't know what it's called, but LIX. I guess they're going to call it Super Bowl LIX. I don't even know how to read the Roman numerals when they get this big anymore. But yeah, LIX. I think that it should be fun. And there's going to be lots of sort of bars if you're in Tokyo and you're a person that would like to see the game. It's going to be seen on all kinds of like sports bars throughout the country. I did, but another thing I did want to talk about briefly, if you're a person that did want to sort of Tokyo and stuff like that, and you're not interested in really sports and stuff like that, but you like some entertainment and stuff like that, really any kind of entertainment that you like is there. This is a YouTube channel that plays. This is a bar in Ebisu, which is called What the Dickens, and they have all kinds of bands and live entertainment that you can watch there. Under my friend's band, they play all kinds of music. He's in several kind of bands, and see, there's like September schedules that if you like to see a rock show or like not a rock show, but it's just like live music and stuff like that. There's all kinds of bars and stuff like that and scenes like this, like in Tokyo, where you can go out and mingle with people and make some friends. For sure, I really miss in some ways the Tokyo uh, expat community now that I'm away from it. But I'll be back in Tokyo for 2 months, so I still am in Tokyo, I guess, 5 or 6 months a year. So I'm very fortunate. Anyway, that's a couple things that we could that I just wanted to talk about. There's real estate involved, and then I just remember that this is my angle on it. Maybe you're going to see it, but for example, the people that run this sort of NFL, this really high-powered sort of groups and stuff like that, they're the ones that are really close. Even here, all the TV stuff. This is close to the American Central Bank and stuff like that. So, like when we're looking at, I would always connect that to like when I was, like even there's the commissioner of the league. Who knows who this lady is? Like she's there probably for I don't even know what this powerful sort of communications, and the same sort of people that own these and control these communication networks are definitely controlling the key pieces of land in Tokyo. So what the red pill is trying to do is to get you to have real estate that are in the areas where the people that are close to the most powerful institutions in Japanese society where they operate. And that way, your land is always going to maintain its value and you're going to have options and things might come your way that way too. You might get lucky enough to get like a lottery ticket like I have. And I think I might get a couple more going into the future. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the game this weekend. The game is from New Orleans. Uh, this on Sunday. So I invite everybody who watches the channel. Thank you for watching the channel. いつもこのチャンネル見てるのの皆様ありがとうございます。今週の日曜日の試合、楽しんでください。Kansas City Chiefs ファンだったら問題ない。なんか、フィラデルフィア・イーグルスファンだったら問題なし。本当にこの試合、楽しんでください。私のこと連絡したいだったら、if you want to get a hold of me, you can always look here in the description of the video. I'll have all my links there, including the one to my new car channel. いつもこのチャンネル見てる皆様ありがとうございます。この動画で、ここでもう終わりです。ありがとうございます。